I do not like being very away from the gym. I'm always active and I try to remain in good shape because I know that an opportunity could come at any time and I do not want to give away any advantages. So I'll rest for a week and I'll go back to work. I want to be as active as possible. I would love to return in December against top opponent who is available because I am not afraid of anyone. I am a champion and I want to prove it. But if I had to choose, I would go against Chris Eubank Jr. or James Degale. And I don't care if I had to travel to England to land the fight. Those are the words of WBO super middleweight world champion Gilberto Ramirez. He's coming off a win just this past weekend against Jesse Hart, a good win. He won the title. I believe it was when he won the title against Arthur Abraham initially. He's kind of a dark horse in the division, a guy who doesn't get as much fanfare as the likes of James Degale and even now Chris Eubank Jr. or even George Groves. But a lot of people believe he could actually be the best in the division. How do you think he would fare against the likes of Chris Eubank Jr. and James Degale? Do you think he's technically good enough to be able to defeat Degale? Do you think he's big and strong enough and also technically good enough to be able to beat Chris Eubank Jr.? And do you take any credit away from Gilberto Ramirez for not being in the World Boxing Super Series tournament? Because if you remember, years back when Lucian Bute was not in the Super 6 tournament in the super middleweight division, the tournament that Mikhail Kessler, Andre Ward, Carl Froch, etc. were all in, Bute got a lot of criticism for that. He was viewed as not being a legitimate champion because of the fact that he wasn't in that tournament. Well, in this instance, James Degale is also not in it. But indeed, Gilberto Ramirez is not in the tournament. So do they lose points for not being in it? And with Degale, you can kind of say maybe not, because he's been in tough fights outside of that tournament leading up to now. He's been in with the likes of Badou Jack, for example. Whereas Gilberto Ramirez, the best guy, well, he's been in with Jesse Hart now and Arthur Abraham. He hasn't fought as good opposition as James Degale has fought, if you get what I'm saying. So maybe people might be a bit more critical of Ramirez than they will be of Degale not being in the World Boxing Super Series. But whatever the case may be, how do you think he would do against Eubank? How would that fight play out? And how do you think he would do against James Degale? Drop your comments in the comment section below and let me know how you feel. It's Hatman, I'm out.